Philip Crowther, Associated Press international affiliate reporter, joins us now from the Poland-Ukraine border. Philip, good to see you. Tell us what you're seeing right now. What is the situation like at the Poland-Ukraine border?
Well, look, it's a humanitarian crisis. We already know that, but we see it here in person. I'm in Przemyśl. This is the closest town to the Poland-Ukraine border in this part of the area. And you can see the train station right behind me. This is one of the places where thousands of refugees have arrived since the war began only a week ago now. That's almost impossible to comprehend, isn't it? And what's really amazing here is that there is still train traffic between the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, and here inside of Poland, meaning that those thousands of people still have that opportunity to leave their country and reach a safer place. Now, what's maybe even more astounding is that these trains don't return to Kiev entirely empty. There are those who are trying to get on these trains and get back to Ukraine. Now, those are mainly men who have decided to go home and defend their families and defend their country. I should mention that almost all of the refugees we are seeing here, at least those who are Ukrainian, are women and children, because Ukrainian men between the ages of 18 and 60 are simply not allowed to leave the country.
Philip, tell us some of the stories that you've been hearing from people there.
Yeah, they're pretty devastating stories, and a lot of them end in tears, literally, when you have these conversations, again, mainly with women, mothers, for example, who bring their young children over here, over the border to Poland, a safe country for them, of course. One example, a lady who was here with her 5-year-old son. She had fled the capital, Kiev, and has not heard from her husband in quite a while, she said. She told me this while she was crying, and the reason why is her husband is a reservist in the Ukrainian army. She supposes he's at the front line somewhere, but does not know that at this point. Now, all of these women and children, some men, of course, who are not Ukrainian, coming here to the Polish border town of Przemyśl after a very, very treacherous journey for a lot of them. Those journeys can take up to 4 or 5 days to get from their starting point all the way to here. Very full trains, very full buses. And what they do here is they try and find another way out of here to maybe link up with family members in another part of Poland or in another part of Europe. So it's turned into a bit of a transport hub here, in fact, to get those people to an even safer and more comfortable place.
And Philip, before I let you go, can you talk to us about the situation in Ukraine, what it's like on the ground there? What do you know?
Well, look, the truth is that the situation on the ground in Ukraine indicates to us that this humanitarian crisis could get significantly worse over the next few days and weeks and maybe even months. As you've already mentioned, there is fighting going on in the southeastern city of Mariupol. There is fighting around the town of Kherson, that's in the south of Ukraine, with the Russian army saying that they now control it. Bombing is going on from the Russian armed forces. It's a very dire picture that is being painted in Ukraine right now, meaning that probably more people will feel the need to escape Ukraine. And as you mentioned also at the top there, what we have heard from the French presidency about a call between the French President Emmanuel Macron and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin is not good news. In that call, according to the French presidency, Vladimir Putin said that he will not stop before he has complete control of Ukraine. Remember that there are a lot of Ukrainians, a lot like those men I just mentioned, who are returning to Kiev to fight for their country, who are willing to fight despite the odds being very much against them.
Very, very concerning situation. Philip, thank you so much for your reporting. Please stay safe.